I don't know what's going on over there at Raven Software, but y'all are wet and wild, okay? You're slipping and sliding around my feelings. As of now, it seems like Warzone is failing. A lot of people are upset, and they have a right to be. But today, we're going to be talking about why it's failing and what we can do as a community, but more importantly, as well, Call of Duty, what they can do to fix this problem. If you find this video informative, make sure to drop the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Let's go ahead and dive in. Off the rip, I think a lot of these are basically going to be pretty easy to understand how it can be fixed. Genuinely, like, I feel like it's just something that's a bug and should get fixed within a certain amount of time. But the problem is, we don't know that time frame, especially around the holiday season, whenever we know there's probably going to be a lot of devs and things like that, people like that on vacation to where they can't get these things fixed. But personally, I think the thing that we should start with is going to be the constant crashes within Call of Duty Warzone. I don't know how many of you guys have dealt with this, but I feel like it's pretty much everywhere. And in fact, I have an exact moment where this happened to me, and it was the most frustrating thing in the world because I literally dropped an insane kill game, literally dropped 21 kills while I was making a video that was like finally going well after hours and hours of working, and I just crash in the middle of firing at someone. My team dies, and that's it. The game's over. I had 21 kills. My teammate was on PR, or like PR pace, personal record pace, and it's just so frustrating because for me, I'm running like the best settings that you possibly can. I'm having the best like graphics card and, you know, setup on my computer that I possibly can. So just know that, like, no matter what you have, there are crashes. This doesn't even like lead down into things like having a PlayStation or an Xbox, because right there, they're having so many crashes, and even like one every other game from what I can tell from the comment section of my videos. So seeing things like that is really concerning as someone that, one, does this as a job, but two, just thoroughly loves playing Call of Duty, especially the Battle Royale mode within Call of Duty. I hate to see something like crashes and something that just really, like, when you're having a good game, just immediately makes you want to hop off. That is like one of the things that I see as a huge problem as someone that consumes the game, is something that I know for a fact just instantly makes me want to quit. It's going to be that, and it's not something that you like to see in the game in any way whatsoever. So personally, I know that there's no way that I could tell them, oh, this is how you fix the crash. But I would say that obviously this hasn't been a crazy problem in the past, so there must be something that they've added in. And I think finding that problem and you know, flipping that switch, or obviously that's not as easy as it is. But my point is I think that if we can find that problem relatively quickly, then we'd be in a much better situation rather than what they usually do, which is waiting 2 weeks to 3 weeks to a month or something like that to finally get these problems fixed. Now, if you don't know, a lot of these items are going to actually be on their Trello board. If you don't know what a Trello board, it's basically like what Raven Software is set up for Warzone, and it shows you like all the scheduled events. It has like, you know, the playlist updates. It has the problems that have been fixed, the scheduled fixes, and things like that on it. So a lot of these are going to be pulled from that specifically. And something that's on there that I know is really hurting the player base and probably making it to where this game may fail if we don't figure this out, especially before Christmas when people start hopping on and stuff like that, is going to actually be players that don't have Xbox Live and PlayStation Plus currently not being able to play. I think it's completely random, but there are people that are trying to play the game without Xbox Live and PlayStation Plus. If you didn't know, free games on either platform, they end up being able to play it for free. So these players are currently unable to play at least certain one of them, and it's kind of messing things up across the board, which means we're getting lower player count numbers, which means you're going to be playing against sweats constantly, which means it's going to feel like skill-based matchmaking is higher because those players that kind of do the balancing act for the higher skill versus the lower skill, we're not going to be getting as many lower skill players to even it out to where it feels as fun. So we're in a situation where whenever, you know, people can't play the game, they're probably not going to continue playing the game. So that's immediately a huge problem. And also on top of that Trello board, they wrote something out that is kind of funny to me. It said some players are experiencing visual inconsistencies with weapon and or player models. Yeah, that's not a joke. I tried to use a bar the other day that I had bought and spent money on. Don't judge me, okay? I bought and spent money on a bar, a BAR, a automatic. I don't know what it's called. Okay. Look, I wasn't in the military. I don't know. I saw this weird thing the other day on Twitter where someone was just like completely like fussing at someone over the fact that they called it a bar. Like, what do you want me to, hey, pass me that. And then you say this like 9-syllable thing of what the bar is. It's like, that's stupid. But anyway, my point is, the guns are broken right now to where if you buy some weapons through the store, you can spend $18 to get this one skin and then you can't use it, which is crazy, which is ironic because you figured that'd be something they fix first because it's their moneymaker. So that's a little weird, but that's not where it ends. It's not just these weapons that you can't see. It is going to be the player models as well. We are getting invisible players. This has happened to me multiple times. You're getting constant invisible players over and over and over. And I don't know how we continue to run into this, but these are all issues, ironically, that we've seen in the past within Call of Duty Warzone Year 1 and 2. So I don't know how we end up in the same situation. I think the inconsistencies of these updates and like the fact that they can update something within the game and it breaks the same thing that we've had issues with in the past. It feels like at some point they kind of revert and work on different like what is it called? Dev builds. I feel like somewhere along the way people are working on different dev builds and then they put it together and it just doesn't work properly, and that's probably why we're seeing this. But I don't know anything about coding, so I'm not going to pretend that I do. I don't know anything about being a developer, but seeing that is a little frustrating to say the least. I think a lot of this really just comes down to communicating like how long we feel it may take to get a fix, and in this specific scenario I think that is one of those things where we need to have communication as to whether or not, you know, hey, we have an idea of when we're going to fix this. Usually they do update it and it says fix scheduled, but why does it say fix scheduled? Okay, that's the big problem that I have. And also I will say shout out to Raven Software for finally taking out bombing runs. For the love of God, that was that was rough. I don't understand how we had a game where audio was already pretty bad, and I think they fixed the audio quite a bit, to be quite honest. Once again, if you don't know the best audio settings, I do have a video on that. Please check it out. It's on my channel and you're going to enjoy it very, very much. But I don't know how we had issues with bombing runs, but they did take it out recently. And another thing that they another thing that they patched recently, but it didn't really fix the problem in the first place, was Krampus. Now, I know a lot of people have been having issues with this Christmas event, and I hate to tell you, the Christmas event is probably going to go on for another like 13 to 14 days. Hey, by the way, did you know that I have a second channel where I post raw, uncut Warzone gameplays every single day? No? You should definitely check it out. As always, you can find it in the description of the video. Enjoy. I'm not 100% sure when you're watching this, but if you're watching this the day that it went live, it's that amount of time. It's about 2 weeks from start to finish is what it was. I think it started at 16 days. So Krampus has finally been nerfed, which means instead of it taking 12 clips, it takes 10. Whoa. Let me ask y'all a question. Can you drop in the comments down below? How do you feel about Krampus? How are you feeling about Krampy Boy? I'm feeling like Krampus is a little shouldn't be in the game. That I had no way around saying that. I have lost so many games to getting slapped in the back by Krampus in the middle of me shooting someone when I have an easy shot, that it just makes me want to lose my mind, because I've been trying to record videos so that I could personally like take off a little bit of time to spend with my family over Christmas. And because of Krampus, I have literally lost out on at least 6 videos whenever they were really, really good, but I didn't make it far enough to where I could use the gameplay. And I know that with you guys, a lot of you all don't even get to play the game all that much. You're watching my videos usually during your lunch break. And so when you get home, you want to play the game, but you hop on and then you're just getting whacked in the back by a dude named Krampus who looks like a reindeer met a Yeti. I don't know what's going on over there at Raven Software, but y'all are wet and wild, okay? You're slipping and sliding around my feelings, and I am not all right with that. I just needed to be very clear with that. Krampus, not okay. We got to get that sucker out of this game, because I'm probably going to cry myself to sleep tonight just over that. I just need to let you know, probably going to cry myself to sleep over that. And one thing that I feel needs a little bit more time to talk about is going to be this whole idea that they want us to buy skins no matter what, and blueprints. Okay, this is just something that I would love to get your opinion on, but as of late, every single time there's something in the game that allows you to level up your guns relatively quickly. And by the way, I would like to let you know, I do have a video out on how to level one gun in about 30 minutes, given there's 35 weapons in the game. So you're still going to be spending 15 hours to level it, but it's better than 10 days of in-game playing time like it was before. So please go check that video out. You're going to love it. However, I think it's weird that every single time we find something that allows us to level our guns very quickly, they take it out. The top secret contracts, they said it was rewarding too much experience. However, it wasn't. It said how much it was going to reward. They had certain, you know, multipliers on it. So we knew no matter what, that was giving the correct amount. But the problem is that it was making it where players could level up their guns quickly. And because of that, they literally took it out of the game. And then they added it back about a week later with it having a smaller multiplier and being pretty much useless. I don't recommend doing it, in my personal opinion. It doesn't seem as fast as it should be. So I don't recommend doing that. But they made it to where we had something that allowed us to level these guns, and there's a bunch of new players out that are trying to level up these guns. So it was like, all right, perfect. They're gonna be able to level these guns up. Well, they took it out. And then another thing is you know, there was Resurgence, or Rebirth, I mean, that came out. And whenever that came out, people were also leveling up their guns quick. I was able to level up a gun in a game. One gun, one game, because I was doing a technique that had been in the game for a very long time. Nothing had changed. Nothing had changed, I promise you, from like a year ago for doing this technique. In fact, I got called out so much for talking about this and saying anything like this is, you know, new. I didn't say it was new. I never said it was new. I said it was in the game for a long time. People have been doing it for a long time, but I wanted to share it because I wanted other people to be able to do it. And people got upset with me for that. For some reason, I don't understand. It was the craziest thing ever. They were like, I've been doing this since my grandfather was 13. He's now 12. I don't know, dude. People just make no sense in the comment section, all right? I'm just saying. But that was added in, or it wasn't added in. It was already there. And when Rebirth came back, we were still able to do it. And then all of a sudden, because they found out people were doing it and they were leveling up their guns very quickly, they took it out. It was not like they were giving too much experience or anything. So when they tweeted out that they took it out, they didn't say that, you know, they were fixing anything to do with XP. Or that it was giving too much experience or anything like that. That was not discussed in any way whatsoever. They took it out and they said, we're investigating issues within Rebirth. And then when it came back, they split the experience in half. I kid you not. The experience that you got from doing this technique that I had in the video, they split it in half. I compared it on the video that I made and while I did it after the video I made. And I felt so bad because it wasn't nearly as fast. So you now have to do like double XP on a double XP weekend so that you can get quad XP, so that you can match the same amount of experience that I was getting during my video, which is so frustrating that they would do that to us because it's like, man, we already are on the game. We're already playing it. We want to play longer, but we need the attachments to play longer because we have everything we need on the gun to play. We're going to play longer. We want to play a battle royale. It's not like multiplayer. So I feel like what you do is you actually just make it to where whenever you play battle royale, you're able to just go ahead and have the attachments unlocked. Instead of just kind of forcing people to unlock attachments and stuff like that, I feel like people play longer whenever they have attachments. However, it is going to hurt their sales, and that is why this is such an issue, is that they want people to buy the skins and the blueprints on their gun. And because of that, they feel the need to force us to do that. And I wrote a tweet about this the other day, and let me tell you, it got so many likes on it. Raven Software tweeted out that double XP in Plunder was temporarily disabled because people were getting too much experience. And I said, I love this game, but the fastest way to lose your audience, especially in a free-to-play game, is to try and force them to buy things. Please recognize that the more you do this, the more audience you lose. The more people start to hate this game, it's already on its last leg. After that, I also said short-term profits do not equate to longevity. Longevity. I'm dumb. Removing things not because it's hurting the game, but rather to ensure higher revenue is instead hurting your consumers. If we focused on the fun factor, people would buy more and stay longer. I don't know how this is unsane. And it was just really frustrating to me because I felt like they could do such a good job. They could genuinely crush it. I mean, absolutely crush it if they just focused on making a good game that didn't have problems like this has. And if they didn't focus on, well, we need you to buy the guns and the attachments and stuff like that. I miss the days where you could buy a skin for a gun and it was just a skin for a gun. It didn't have to have all the attachments and stuff like that so that you could get the meta loadout before everyone else. That's stupid. That's crazy that they would do that. And I think that it makes it honestly a little scummy and scammy that is a thing. So if they could please, for the love of God, focus on the fun factor rather than the buy factor. You're like, their revenue is already down. Well, I say their revenue, their stock price is already down immensely. It's down like $20 from last year, which is insane. Absolutely insane. And I wish that they would just focus on the fun factor and try and grow the audience rather than worry about that one, like, you know, that monthly like report or the quarterly reports and stuff like that, because the more that they do that, the more that they hurt the game and the more that you're going to see people lose. So please, my message to Raven Software is focus on your community, focus on growing it, and focus on building, you know, valuable, fun games, like something that is great to pass the time with, something that's going to make people happy whenever they're playing the game. If you do that, I promise you will succeed. The last thing I'm going to say is, I know a lot of people are still seeing a lot of hackers and cheaters and stuff like that in the game. I promise you, there are cheaters in the game. Since the game has come out, I've ran into one cheater, one real, like 100%. I know that he's cheating. I don't call cheater anymore because I know for a fact they're not cheating in most scenarios. However, I did run into a cheater recently. He basically followed my head through the gulag. I'm not joking. Followed me through the gulag, and I was literally sitting there laughing my butt off because it was like, all right, well, this is kind of obvious. This was pretty obvious. But I will say kudos to the team that worked on making Ricochet. You guys have done a great job. Obviously, people are going to slip through, and it's never going to be perfect, but I'm very, very happy to see the work that they did on Ricochet. And I think just making sure that they continue to progress with this anti-cheat, we should be good there. So just hopefully we see them keep working on this and stuff like that. But either way, I want to say I love this game. I really, really do. I love this game. I can't stop playing it, and I really just enjoy playing it with my friends and having a blast. It's a new game, and I'm having fun, and I genuinely hope that you guys do the same. I want you guys to get on and be able to play and have fun. And I know that there's a lot of things that are making this game not enjoyable, but try and get on with your friends. Have fun over the holiday weekend, holiday days. I don't know the right word for that, but either way, I appreciate you guys. Hope you guys have a great day. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.